I love it.
My urban cowboy days.
Is that what they call a 10-gallon hat there?
Yeah, you know, that is a white hat.
Well,
Wasn't I cool? So again, here's a calendar link to get with me if you want to learn. If you want to, I want to learn about your business, get to know you guys. Schedule that there. The next one, a little black book of Realtor Secrets. So again, we're on and off sometimes, you know, depending. We won't have them on days when we have meetings like this or if any other big things are going on. But these are episode 1 was these are the what we've kind of gone over so far. And I think today's episode here coming up right after this is going to be the most valuable so far. But episode 1 was how to create that birthday smart plan where you would be the one that your client or friend, family member remembers when they're getting all of those birthday messages out there on Facebook. Yours is one that's going to stand out, not on Facebook, but it's going to be different. So go back and watch that. There's a link there too to the YouTube channel where we are posting those, as well as on the Facebook page. You can go and watch them there. Number 2 is how to be the local market expert and set up a smart plan to send out to your clients in 60 seconds or less, actually. The number 3 was the 6 most important elements you need to think about when you're considering a new geographic farm, when you're trying to pick a neighborhood. Go back and watch that one. That one was great. Okay, and then go on to the next slide. What's next? All right, here we go. So the big one today, I feel badly. So we're down to 66 people now. They're going to miss out on this. This is one of those things, guys, that really could change your life, could change your whole listing presentation, give you a different perspective, and hopefully get your batting average up a lot. So here it is. Let me give you a little bit of background on this. I learned this from a very good friend of mine. He is a MBA from Vanderbilt University, went to work for Goldman Sachs in New York. He got into their MBA program that they only hired MBAs. And most of them are like Harvard MBAs, Yale MBAs. I mean, they're the best of the new people going out into the workforce. So Goldman Sachs, they put them on. They called it $1 million education that they gave them in their sales training program. His job was to call on executives, big CEOs, and to introduce them to a relationship with Goldman Sachs. That was it. That was his job. Once he got through the 6-month training program, in that 6 months, what they did was some of the big pressure that was put on them. You know, and he said at the end of the 6 months, he was really good. They would go into the office. First thing they would do, I mean, day 1, put on their headset, just like that. They didn't plug it into anything, but they had to walk around with their headset on all day long to get them used to being on the phones. But in their training programs, they would have, and there was like 45 to 50 people in the program, but they would go up on stage one at a time and they would do a live phone call. And then every one of them would go through and get a critique from all the other guys and the instructor. High pressure, best of the best. Everyone was always comparing themselves, you know, extremely unhealthy, by the way. But lots of competition, very high pressure. Is my school better than your school where you graduated from? Is this guy smarter than me? Wonder what his IQ is, that kind of thing. So he's the one. I'm giving you that background just because that's why this 3-step process came from him. It came out of that program. Okay, so the next slide, please. Here it is. Here's the 3 steps. Number 1 is with any objection that you get from a seller, anything in life, any buyer, any seller, your spouse, husband, wife, lover, anyone, they give you an objection. Here's how you handle it. Number 1, you want to figure out how can I add credibility to this situation? And number 2 is how can I make it relatable? And we're going to go through a live example of this here in a second. So number 1, how can I add credibility? How can I make it relatable? And then number 3 is the reset and redirect. Okay. So let's go through an example. I'm in a listing presentation, right? So I sit down and I say, how do I add credibility here? Hey, John and Emily, they're just wanted you to know there's approximately 131 million housing units currently in the United States. 948,000 housing units in the state of New Mexico. There's 74,000 housing units in Santa Fe County and 58,000 in the city of Santa Fe. Now, in the neighborhood of El Dorado, where we are, there's 1,982 houses. I'm just making this number up, guys. There's 10 active properties. 5 are currently pending. 114 sold in the last year. Now, and of those 114, 23 hit a record price. Would you like for me to show you how we can make yours the next record price? That is adding credibility. I've said that with conviction. And really all you got to do is memorize those first 5 or so numbers. And then you fill in the neighborhood, how many are active, how many pending. You do your homework right before you go on the presentation. Okay, so that's number 1. That's the credibility. You say that with a lot of authority. You memorize it. You go there and you say it just like I said. Now, how do you make that? How do we make that relatable? So, John and Emily, with 6% of the homes being sold every year in that market, one just went under contract, and there's 7 that are pending or under escrow, and 1 that just canceled or failed to sell. Do you understand the relationship between what is active and what is pending and what is sold? Do you understand that relationship? Okay, yes, I understand. Okay, so that was the relatability. How do you make it relatable to them, the market data that you just talked about, why it's important to those guys? Okay, then we can move on to the reset and redirect. Here's now what you're actually going to do for them. So John and Emily, in the last 10 years, I have worked extensively with my coach, and we've built a 12-step process that will allow us to make your home to achieve that next highest price in El Dorado. Would you like for me to walk you through that 12-step process that we've come up with? That's it. That is it. So authority, you're going to be credibility, reliability, and then the reset and redirect. Any questions about that? What do you guys think?
Excellent. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
So if Deb wanted to learn to knit sweaters, I could say, Deb, you know that there are currently 14,000 people in the world that knit sweaters. And what you want to be able to do, Deb, is to be able to knit a sweater in 28 minutes. That's going to put you at the top tier.
That would be quite a feat if I could do that.
So would you like for me to walk you through the 12-step process to be able to knit a sweater in 28 minutes so that you can give your grandkids a sweater for Christmas? All right, very good. That's it. So figure out how to get that into your listing presentation, guys. Did you have that next slide, Ted? You want number 67. Yeah, there you go. You want the script, send me a text. That's my cell phone there, but just say, give me the script, Ray, and I'll send it to you guys.